So a little less than a week ago, this article appeared on Medium. We need to stop telling people kids will make them happy, because they won't. Let's read it. Recently, my youngest son caught a slight bug from his cousins. He was a little congested, but it was nothing to be concerned about. Then, after meticulously feeding him 8 ounces of formula while doing the whole song and dance of taking breaks, burping, and wriggling, he barfed on me. Everything that I had just fed him came up in a chunky torrent, soaking my shirt. Not only that, but I had to restart the 45-minute ordeal of getting a fresh bottle into him so he didn't miss out on important liquid or calories. It was a really crappy situation. This is just one example of how being a parent can be frustrating. It can be draining. It will strain every facet of your life. The highs are high, but the lows can be incredibly low. Having kids is a wonderful experience, but it is a full-bodied one. It comes with tears and pain along with the cherished memories and great victories. Raising children is fulfilling in a very real and human way, but they don't make you happy. If I had $1 for every time I heard some iteration of the phrase, if I just had a kid, I would be happy, or if we had a baby, our marriage would be better, or I wish I had something to love and care for, or a kid that will love me unconditionally, I would be alarmingly rich. The truth of the matter is that kids will not make you happy. They won't fix your marriage. They won't make you feel cherished and loved. And if you are opening your mouth to utter a hot retort, wait and hear me out. Kids will add to, heighten, or exacerbate your current living situation. If you're happy, kids can make you happier, but they won't make you happy. If you're miserable, kids can make you more miserable. If your marriage is good, kids can make it better, but they can't make a good marriage. Kids are life enhancers, but they will only enhance what is already there. The problem is that our society has this idea that kids are fixers. People believe that kids can make them happy or that kids can fix their life problems. That is not true, but no one seems to have the guts to say that out loud. It would help if you immediately cautioned someone whenever they do say they are pining for a kid to fix X, Y, and Z. That is the responsible thing to do. Instead, so many of us hem and haw and support these notions. We will gush and support someone's desire to have a kid, whatever the reason. That is irresponsible. If people could have children in a vacuum, in a vain attempt to turn their lives around, I wouldn't have anything to say about it. But kids do not exist in a vacuum. They affect dozens of people, and they are their own people. Kids affect their parents, their peers, their siblings, their grandparents, their teachers, and more. Whenever people have kids for the wrong reasons, they oftentimes end up hurting their kids in the long run. This is not a comfortable thing to say, but it is true. And as we all know, hurt people hurt people. If kids made people happy, everyone with children would be happy. And that just isn't the case. According to the CDC, nearly 85% of adults aged 40 to 49 have had at least one biological child. At the same time, 41% of adults have admitted to suffering from anxiety or depression. Even further than that, parents report being less happy than people without kids. In a recent poll, results found that parents report being 12% less happy than people who have no children. American parents seem to be the most susceptible to this type of feeling. From Business Insider, researchers studying American adults could find no type of parent, with or without custody, biological, adoptive, or step, of young or adult children who reported a greater sense of well-being than non-parents. In the United States, parents report themselves to be 12% less happy than people without children. This is the biggest happiness gap between parents and non-parents in the developed world. Kids are wonderful. They are a gift from God. If people want to have kids, they should have kids. But you should be honest about the impact kids will have on your life. You should not have kids because you think kids are going to do something for you. In reality, you are going to be doing everything for your kids. Kids are life enhancers. That's the best way to put it. They are magnifying glasses. Kids will teach you a lot about yourself. They will highlight your best features and your worst flaws. They will bring out the best of you and the worst of you. If you bring kids into a shaky environment for selfish reasons, you are likely going to cause more harm than you first imagined. For all of those reasons, we need to stop telling people that kids will make them happy. It creates a false narrative that can be harmful to everyone involved. Having children, like everything else in life, will come with good days and bad days. The good days can be exceptional, but the bad days can be dreadful. The consequences of having children for the wrong reasons are very real. Even if we don't want to say it out loud or look someone in the eye and say that, we all know deep down that it is true. If we were more honest and upfront about childbearing and being parents, maybe more people would realize that having kids is something existential that should have little to do with happiness or the health of your marriage. It is unpopular to say and uncomfortable to hear, but the truth of the matter is that kids will not make you happy. Let's check out the comments, shall we? I can't explain why I didn't write this, but you just put to paper metaphorically what I have felt for decades. Conversely, when someone states that they don't want to have children, don't patronize them by telling them they will change their mind. When I started dropping an F-bomb into my reply to that erroneous and arrogant comment, the commenter tended to shut the fuck up. So very true. I would venture to add that a large part of the happiness gap comes also from children limiting your choices, or at least exacerbating the consequences of those choices. As I typed this, I realized they are the magnifiers of consequences as well as other things you mentioned. I'm certainly left wondering half the time why I had kids. Joke's on you. Nothing makes me happier than being told I'm not funny and to stop embarrassing me, and being roundly ignored for 23 hours a day apart from when they need a lift somewhere or they need food. You can't buy happiness like that. If I had $1 for every time someone said we only stay together for the sake of the children, I'd have enough to pay the maintenance arrears. This uncomfortable truth is necessary to bring out. I agree with this word for word. So I know you won't believe me, but will you believe your fellow parent?